Okay, we're out here by the curb. This is the parkway. We've got an electronic water meter, and it's just sitting there. And the nearest this home inspector can ascertain is that we do not have a freshwater leak in the structure. Now, this cover has been broken off and the lock has been disengaged because people have been getting in here. Why they've been getting in here? Because that is the main water shutoff valve to the meter, which inadvertently or advertently or directly correlates to the water to the house. That's how you would turn. Parallel is on, perpendicular is off. That's how you turn the water off to the house. Now, the bad thing about that is that valve doesn't belong to you. That valve belongs to the city. It belongs to the water company. It belongs to the utility company. It belongs to the municipality. It belongs to the municipal vendor. But that's not yours. This meter and everything else, you're responsible for everything behind the meter, everything going towards your house. That's all you. That's all you. And I cannot find a main water shutoff valve for the house. So by default, you're left to come over here to turn off the water. It shouldn't be that. You shouldn't need necessary tools. That's why they cut it out, in order to get to the main water disconnect. We passed the water meter test. And we do have a way to turn the water off to the house, but the home, to my best estimation, is the home doesn't have a main water shutoff valve. But how much pressure is coming into the house? Well, that's a good question. We want to know how much pressure is coming to the house. We do not want to see more than 80 psi. And we're looking at here at about 50. Our valve stem is leaking, so about 55 psi. That's good. That's good. But because it's leaking, I'm supposed to come back after a few minutes and double check it. That's what FHA says. This isn't an FHA inspection, I don't think. It could be, but I just use that guideline. I cannot find a main sewer cleanout. I can find this cleanout, and it's pretty major. And but I like to see a double cleanout in the yard. I cannot find a sewer cleanout. We're over here on the east side. That's the half bath. Okay, this is the east side of the home. That's the only sewer cleanout I was able to find. So we do have a sewer cleanout. I don't know if it fits the definition of main. We do have a shutoff valve. I don't know if it fits the definition of main. Let me come over here. This is our gas piping coming into the house, and it's not bonded. It might be bonded someplace else. It's not bonded here. It's the front corner, has our gas piping, and then that leaves us to the lawn sprinkler system. This is the control box right in here. This is not GFCI protected. We do not have instructions. We do not have the zones labeled. We have neither instructions nor zones labeled here. Both of that documentation should be here, and it's not. Coming on along, we got sprinkler heads that are closer than 5 inches to the flatwork, and also closer than 5 inches to the structure. And another video that you've already seen, in theory. This is the check valve. We have a double check valve. They're supposed to be serviced annually. I get it, nobody does that, but they're supposed to be serviced annually. But when these handles, these are the isolation handles. When these handles get rusty, they'll break off in your hand. And there's really not much in the way of options in replacing the handles. You're usually left with replacing the valve. And so you might be replacing those valves. Also, when this home was built, It was not required, but now it's required. But a main, and the Texas Real Estate Commission requires that I report on it, but we do not have a main shutoff valve to the sprinkler system. Yes, you can turn the sprinkler system off by turning one or both of those valves, but you should be able to turn off one valve and take all this out and replace it. So we do not have a main water shutoff valve. So what did we learn? We learned that we don't have a main water shutoff valve to the house. We learned that we don't really have a sewer clean out. We learned that our faucet leaks. We learned that we don't have a main water shutoff valve to the lawn sprinkler check valve, and that the check valve handles are rusty, and that the check valve hasn't been serviced in the last year. And we learned that we do not have a weather sensor. I did not see a weather sensor. I've been around this house a couple times and I haven't seen a weather sensor for the lawn sprinkler system. We also learned that we do not have the zones listed. We do not have the care and use manual or operational instructions.